Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Admire Sandel. The ANC still has the numbers. The ANC on the ground, they still have the support. The ANC is now going around, moving around South Africa, doing the so-called 2019 Manifesto Review. What they're doing is to check their promises to the people, which they made in 2019, and they compare such commitments as to what is it that they've achieved and how far are they with the project and what is it that is left behind. So they are reporting back to their people before they launch their 2024 manifesto, which is a great thing. But the other thing is that they are mixing this 2019 review with all the years since 1994, explaining their progress, because they know that they've been in power since 1994. But one thing that I think political parties like the EFF should be careful about is that these ANC still have the numbers on the ground. And wherever they go, they don't invite all other provinces, but they get to receive greater support. We see the numbers. They cannot only, they may not fill these stadiums to capacity, but we can see that the support is there. They've been in Limpopo, Mpumalanga, here in Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal. They are moving around. And in each and every province or place where they go, the numbers are out. The numbers are there. I told a lot of people earlier this year that the ANC is crazy when it comes to elections. And their campaign has always been top-notch. In what way? Top-notch in what way? Top-notch in a way that they are able to go into all the corners of South Africa. They invest a lot of money in transportation and T-shirts and all the requirements of a campaign, the logistics of a campaign. They are the best when it comes to that. And we know that political opposition parties are going to complain about where did they get the money to buy T-shirts for everyone and things like that. But we know they are going to knock in that shack. They are going to knock in that one-room house, child-headed family, and give that person a T-shirt and some food parcels, and they'll never come back for the next 5 years or until the next elections. But a lot of people will be touched by that story, and they're going to lose their vote to the ANC merely for that. We understand that the ANC has a lot of older people, and the ANC Youth League is trying to challenge that. And the likes of Gwede Mataje feels targeted, Pravin Gordhan feels targeted, Mbalula is accused of capturing the Youth League, and a lot is happening. But when they move, the people support. And this shouldn't be taken for granted. I think opposition parties must up their game. What the EFF did for their 10 years anniversary, they must do it twice or 3 times. They must double the effort now if they want to compete the ANC. They must access all the corners of South Africa. They must also try and beat the ANC in its own game through T-shirts and food parcels. We understand that they have a very strong leader who is very charismatic, who a lot of people, by the way, love. But there are those who are ageists, and the EFF is well aware that there are ageists in all communities who will not vote for the EFF merely because they say Malema is still young. Malema is a small boy. So political parties like the EFF must be careful, must be strategic, and try and come up with a strategy to convince the elders to trust Malema to be the president of South Africa. Other than that, it will still be hard to get rid of the ANC from power in South Africa. The opposition parties, we know they are not willing to work with each other entirely. The DA has its own proposals to other opposition parties, excluding the EFF and even the ANC itself. But the EFF on the other side is open to work with anyone. So it's something which will make these opposition parties not to compete the ANC, because they are fighting amongst each other, and each and every time towards elections there is a new party, not even one but a lot of new political parties in South Africa, and they take from where they come from. These leaders go with their own supporters from these political parties. There are a lot of political parties which branched out from the DA recently, a lot of political parties from the ANC. We can say one party branched out two from the EFF, BLF, and the AADP of Ben Mayengani. So it's always chaos, but we know that we focus mostly on the top three and the top five. We can say 3 and 5 because 3 is ANC, DA, EFF, and then we have your IFP, your UDM, and other good party, and the likes. The new kids in the block, the Action SA shouldn't be ruled out. Your Patriotic Alliance, it's growing fast. So for these opposition parties to beat the ANC, they need strong and charismatic leaders, number one. And they must, I don't think it's late, but when they draft their manifesto for 2024, they must speak to the needs of the people and speak with reference in some instances. And when these leaders go around speak, people no longer want to hear that this leader is corrupt, don't vote for them, because there's no leader who doesn't have a cloud of corruption on their head in South Africa. All of them, they are dirty like that. And they are known to be corrupt. Although in some leaders, it has not yet been proven, but there are always allegations of corruption and some criminality going on. So I think it would be wise if these politicians, wherever they move, they make reference to their work. They make reference to the success stories of their cadres. For example, if they have a mayor somewhere, they refer to whatever that mayor has achieved and changed. When they go to Guyana and there's a bulk water supply problem, they must address the progress to that and their contribution into trying to solve the problems of water in Guyana. They must address such basic needs and basic issues. They shouldn't make promises or a lot of promises unless if they don't have anyone in that area, then they can make promises. Because even the ANC has realized that when it goes to the people now, it doesn't make promises. It reviews. It reviews its achievements. It reviews its commitment to the people to say, you sent us in 2019 to achieve this and this and that. This is how far we are. This is how far we have gone. And given a chance, we're going to complete this. We failed here, we're going to fix here. But this is how far we are. They call it a manifesto review. And they go back to 1994 to say, in 1994, a lot of white people stole money. and we are still paying back that debt. But we don't entertain that because we don't want to stress you. With the little that we remain with or that we have done this. We've built schools here and there. We've done this, roads, new roads, water, electricity. They speak to that. And I think a lot of people that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear promises. No. They want politicians to speak with reference, and the ANC has got that right. And I think we'll be surprised in 2024 to see the ANC win. Although it might not win with great numbers, but it's going to win if these other opposition parties do not rectify their mistakes, amend their policy position here and there, and speak to the people about what they have done where they govern. To speak with reference. I think then we'll see good competition and good governance, because if the ANC does not win with a great margin, or it lacks, it doesn't meet the majority requirement, 50+1, it means that we are going to be led by a coalition government, and we are going to see kingmakers being part of the decision making of the state or the government, and which will be great. Co-governance will be great, but it needs some competitiveness from all these political parties, where they will all have their views heard. They will all have their views heard, and it will help the state, because it will be easy to hold to account a leader who does not have majority votes to move alone, to make their own decisions alone. So it will be great. But if these opposition parties are still fighting and creating these unnecessary hate amongst each other, the ANC will win. And it will be difficult to build up to destroying the ANC or getting rid of the ANC again. This Authentic Info podcast, ANC still have the numbers on the ground. The manifesto review, wherever they go, we can see the support that it is still there. And it is not a lot of parties that can pull that number wherever they go. So they still have the numbers, and all people are still there. They're still going to threaten them about SASSA grants, that when they lose, the SASSA grants will be withdrawn. So they're still going to have a lot of support from the ground. And the opposition parties must work hard in educating. I think they need to educate the nation on a lot of issues, how government works, until the last day before the elections, until the last hour before the elections. And if they don't do that, the ANC will still lie and win votes. The ANC will still buy votes through T-shirts and these events where they host events and give T-shirts and food parcels. They will still buy votes and then disappear for the next 5 years, when these opposition parties will be left to complain and do nothing about it. But if they want to compete, if they want to take the ANC head on with the numbers that the ANC have, they must fix themselves, work the ground, educate the nation about how government works. This is Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Admar Sandelejo. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's grow together. Comment. The comment section is open. Let's engage. Like, share with friends, family, and colleagues. Thank you.